Good morning, students. This is your social science class. Today we are going to see atmosphere in geography. This is your third lesson in geography. So in this lesson you will come to know about atmosphere. What is atmosphere and the structure of atmosphere. You will get the difference between weather and climate and the factors that influencing weather and climate, and how clouds, wind and rainfall has been classified. So all these details will be explained in this chapter. So let me go through the introduction part. Earth is a unique planet where life is found. Can you imagine life on Earth without air? No. The air is essential for all the survival of all forms of life. The blanket of the air that surrounds the Earth is called atmosphere. It is held close to the Earth by gravitational attraction. So in the introduction part they have given about the Earth. So we all live in a unique planet, special planet called Earth, right? So Earth is providing all the essential things which a human or which a living creature need, which each and every creature needs, right? So there is no life on Earth without air. So without breathing, without air, can we survive, children? Is a life possible? No, we'll become dead, right? So air is very, very important. So the air is the essential thing for all the living forms, living things, right? So the blanket of air that surrounds the Earth is called a blanket, a covering of air which is surrounding the Earth is called atmosphere. So this is what atmosphere. So we'll see about the composition of atmosphere. What all the things are composed in the atmosphere. Atmosphere is a mixture of gases, water vapor and dust particle in different proportions. So atmosphere, it is a mixture of gases, many gases and water vapor and dust particles too. So in that nitrogen will be in 78% and oxygen is of 21%. So these are the permanent gases, and the remaining 1% is composed of argon, carbon dioxide, neon, ozone, helium, krypton, water vapor, methane. So all these are the other particles which is presented in the atmosphere. Now we'll see about the structure of atmosphere. We have 5 atmospheric layers. They are troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere and exosphere. So these are the 5 atmospheric layers which is present in the atmosphere. So we'll see about troposphere. The lowest layer of the atmosphere is the troposphere. So the last layer of the atmosphere is called troposphere. The Greek word tropos means turn or change. Tropos in the meaning is change, turn. Okay. Almost all weather phenomenon take place in this layer. So all the weather changes happens in this layer. So that is why it is called as weather making layer. The upper part of the troposphere is called tropopause. So upper limit of the troposphere, the last limit of the troposphere is called tropopause. Next is about stratosphere. So this stratosphere lies above the troposphere. Above the troposphere is the stratosphere. It extends to a height of 50 km above Earth's surface. So this layer is concentrated of ozone molecules and it is also known as ozone sphere. So the upper limit of the stratosphere is called stratopause. Next is about mesosphere. So this mesosphere, it extends between 50 km and 80 km. Stratosphere is about 50 km above the Earth's surface, and this mesosphere extends from 50 to 80 km. The uppermost limit of the mesosphere is called mesopause. Next is about thermosphere. So this thermosphere, it exists above the mesosphere. It extends to about 600 km. Okay. The composition of gases in lower thermosphere is more or less uniform, hence it is called homosphere. So the composition of gases in the thermosphere, it is almost equal, uniform. So it is also called homosphere. Next is about exosphere. The uppermost layer of the atmosphere is called exosphere. So the topmost layer, the first layer of the atmosphere is called exosphere. This layer is extremely rarefied with gases and gradually merges with outer spaces. So slowly it rarefied with the gases and merges with the outer space. So it is also characterized by aurora australis and aurora borealis. Okay, so the aurora australis and the aurora borealis are the natural lights. We'll see some natural lights in the sky, during evening or morning, some different colors. So that is called borealis and australis, aurora borealis. Okay, so this exosphere is responsible for all these lights. Now we'll see about the difference between weather and climate. Okay, so weather and climate. Weather is a study of atmospheric conditions for short duration over small areas. So weather, it is about small areas and the condition for a short duration. Atmospheric condition for a short duration, maybe 1 hour or 2 or for a very short duration. But climate, it is a study of average weather condition observed over a long period of time for a larger area. So for a very large area, and the condition is also observed for a very long period. So this is a very short period and climate is for a very long period. And the weather changes very often, hour to hour and day to day. So weather, often it gets changed day by day, hour to hour, everything will be changed. But climate, it remains for a long time, for the same always. Okay, a place can experience different types of weather conditions in a day. Example, a day with hot morning and have a rainy noon. So this weather, different types of weather conditions will happen in a same day itself. See, morning it will be very hot, sunny, but afternoon it will become little chill. The clouds will be formed. It will look like rainy. So this is the condition. This is called weather. But climate, the place can experience almost the same type of climate. So for a long time, weather data is collected every day in observatories. So this weather data, every day it is collected, but climate is an average of weather data. So for a long time it is fixed like that. Study of weather is called meteorology and the study of climate is called climatology. Okay, now we'll see about wind. The horizontal movement of air along the surface of earth is called wind. So the air movement, that horizontal movement of air is called wind. The anemometer records wind speed. So the wind, how the speed of the wind is recorded by anemometer, and the direction of the wind is measured by the wind vane. So we have 4 types of wind. The first one is planetary wind, periodic wind, variable wind, local wind. So we'll see about first one, planetary wind. The winds which constantly blow in the same direction throughout the year are called planetary winds. So for throughout the year it will be blowing in the same direction. So that is called planetary wind. Next one is periodic winds. The periodic winds are the seasonal winds that change the direction periodically. So period wise it would be changing its direction, hence it is called periodic winds. So this winds is caused by the different heating of land and ocean. So winds with reverse their direction and the change of monsoon seasons are called monsoon. So when this direction gets changed, monsoon also occurs. Okay. Tropical monsoon winds of Indian subcontinent is a best example for this periodic winds. Next is about variable wind. So this variable wind also blows in a small area and it is related to the pressure system. It does not blow through a definite direction. It often changes and their speed also gets changes. So that is why it's called variable. It varies, right? So it is called variable wind. Next one is local wind. Local winds, it blows only in a particular locality for a short period of time. So this affect the local winds are experienced only in a particular area. So it will be blowing in a particular locality. So local wind. So such as land and sea breeze, mountain and sea breeze also there. So we have no local winds in Chennai. In some part alone some wind will blow. In some other part it won't happen. So that is all called local winds. Next we'll see about clouds. We all know what is cloud, right? So because of the clouds only we are getting rain. We have 3 main types of clouds. The first was high clouds, middle clouds and low clouds. In high clouds we have 3 types. cirrus, cirrocumulus, cirrostratus. So cirrus, the clouds they have icy crystals and very dry and do not give rainfall. This clouds will not give rainfall. And cirrocumulus, it is a white patched cloud. It will be composed of icy crystals. And the third one is cirrostratus. It will be very smooth, milky, transparent, whitish clouds. It will be composed of the tiny ice crystals. So these are the high clouds. Next is about middle clouds. The first in that is altostratus. So thin sheets of grey or blue colored clouds in uniform appearance, consisting of frozen water droplets. Though this will be in a very thin sheet of grey or blue color clouds, it will be in a very uniform state, and it consists of the frozen water droplets, some small drops, frozen water drops. And in that next one is altocumulus. It is a cloud fitted very closely in the parallel bands. So it is also called sheep clouds or woolpack clouds. Next one is nimbostratus. These are the clouds of dark color very close to the ground surface, associated with rain, snow or sleet. So this one, nimbostratus, it is very dark in color, and if you see, it will be very close to the ground surface of the earth. So this is always associated with the snow, rain, etc. And the final one is low clouds. So in that stratus, so this snow, it will be very dense, very thick, low-lying fog-like clouds. It always associated with rain and snow. And cumulonimbus, it is a cloud capable of producing heavy rain and snow. So when we get heavy rain, too much of rain or snow, this cumulonimbus is only responsible for that rain. Okay, so this is about the clouds: high clouds, middle clouds and low clouds. Now we are going to see about cyclones. The term cyclone is a Greek word meaning coil of a snake. It has derived from the Greek word meaning coil of a snake, which means it is in round shape, right? Have you seen in news and all, children? Cyclone has formed here in this area, so we have the possibility of getting rain. We will get news often, right? So this cyclone, it will be in that shape only, some round shape of a snake, like a snake round it will be. So these cyclones are the centers of low pressure where winds from the surrounding high pressure area converge towards a center in the spiral form. So it is in the spiral form. Due to the rotation of the earth, the cyclonic winds in the northern hemisphere moves in an anti-clockwise direction. So when the earth rotates, the cyclonic winds it moves in an anti-clockwise direction, and where as they move in the clockwise direction, in the southern hemisphere. So in the northern hemisphere it will be in the anti-clockwise direction. In the southern hemisphere it will be in the clockwise direction. We have three types of cyclones. One is tropical cyclone, temperate cyclone, extratropical cyclone. First we'll see about the tropical cyclone. This tropical cyclone often cause heavy loss of life and property and on the coast and become very weak after reaching the land masses. This tropical cyclones are also known as cyclones in Indian Ocean. So it always occurs in the Indian Ocean, and typhoons in the Western Pacific Ocean, and hurricane in the Atlantic Eastern Pacific Ocean. So it is also all known in these names. So it will damage in a very large manner, okay, property and for life also. This is the tropical cyclone. Next is about temperate cyclone. So temperate cyclones are formed along a wind where hot and cold air masses meet in the mid latitudes. So this temperate, it is formed when both hot and cold air masses meet. They do not become weak like tropical cyclones, because when tropical cyclone, when it reach the earth, it will become weak, but this does not become like that. This cyclone commonly occurs in North Atlantic Ocean, Mediterranean basins, Northwest Europe, Mediterranean basins. So in India it is also called western disturbances. The next one is about extratropical cyclones. So the extratropical cyclones, it occur in the latitudes between 30 degree and 60 degree in both the hemispheres. So this extratropical cyclones produce mild showers to heavy gales, thunderstorms and all. So it will give mild showers, sometimes rain. Okay, now we'll see about precipitation. Precipitation is nothing but falling down of water vapor in a different form is called precipitation. So water vapor, it will be in very different forms like rain, drizzle, sleet, snow, hails. So drizzle in the sense numerous uniform minute of droplets. It will be very less in diameter, 0.5 mm. Sometimes when it is combined with the fog, it reduces its visibility. We can't visible when it falls from the sky, no, when we can't see it as well. Some small drizzles, when the rain starts, we'll get some small drop, no, that is called drizzles. Next one is rain. So we all know what is rain, right? It occurs only when there is abundant moisture in the air. So the diameter of the rain is more than 5 mm, 5 millimeter. Sleet is a form of pellet, which means a very round, some ball size shape, transparent icy form. Okay, so it is a mixture of both snow and rain. Next is about snow. Snow, you all know, right? In some areas and like Kashmir, Ladakh and all, we used to see snowy areas. Okay, so snow is formed when condensation occurs below freezing point. So it has some certain point, but when it occurs below the freezing point, the snow will fall on us. So it will be semi-opaque icy crystals. Hails are the chunk of ice from the it will fall from the sky during heavy rain or thunderstorm. So when heavy thunders or rainstorm, hail, some stones will fall from in a form of ice will fall from the sky. That is what called hails. So this is what we have seen in this chapter, children. We have seen about weather and climate, the difference between weather and climate, the structure of atmosphere, the types of wind, the types of clouds, how the cyclones are formed, and the different types of precipitation. Thank you.